Okay, we're outdoors again. The great outdoors. It's so great and it's outdoors. Come and get it while it lasts. The great outdoors. Coming to a outdoors near you. Right, yeah. Okay, so Buddhism, or any means by which one seeks happiness/contentment via detachment from material wealth, cannot be said to be the best method for achieving happiness. Although the ultimate goal is correct, and in line with the understanding that subjective experience is all that matters, it fails on account of the fact that for most people it requires a vast amount of neurological reprogramming before the benefits are experienced. Therefore, the reward systems most of us will have developed during our childhood will likely respond more immediately if the subject believes themselves to be benefiting the human cause. Of course, from a truly objective perspective, neither can be said to be better than the other, but working on the realization that the subject experiences everything. How many times have I said that? At least twice in my life, and that subject experiences everything, and that this is independent and unaffected by the proposed objective perspective. It may be fair to assume that working towards pleasing the existing reward systems rather than attempting to reprogram them to be self-sufficient. I don't think working towards pleasing the existing reward systems rather than attempting to reprogram them to be self-sufficient would be more effective. I don't know. I didn't write in that sentence, apparently. Obviously, for most people, purpose is essential to having positive subjective experience, and it should be clear that the only, and then I put in brackets, secondary, obviously the feeling that the secondary purpose evokes is the true purpose. The only possible purpose I can come up with is to develop a conscious AI. Okay, so it's secondary to the main, still acknowledging that subjective experience is everything, so that's the main purpose, but okay, fine. So the only possible purpose I can come up with is to develop conscious AGI in order to increase the amount and quality of subjective experiences for the foreseeable future. However, not everyone can work directly to this effect, and it is just as well, because it is necessary for some people to simply enjoy the fruits of others' labours. Otherwise, many seemingly direct purposes will have been in vain. Video games, for example, offer a great purpose to the creators only if at least one individual enjoys playing the game. Hopefully the process of creating the game would be sufficient for the creator, but I would imagine most would be aiming to achieve a purpose similar to those outlined above. Okay, I'm losing my touch of writing here. Acknowledging the potential oversight in my assertion that the point at which we can no longer prove an AGI not to be conscious is the point at which we must assume it is, on the basis that this is all we can ever do regarding any being, even other humans. In the case of humans, there is the added input of the logic of likeness, which allows us to make the fair assumption that the process which allowed us to develop the only consciousness we know to be true, our own, is more likely to have been present during the development of creatures more like ourselves, i.e. other humans. This is that equation I had, but I'm not sure if I actually finished it ever. So, open bracket, x squared plus y squared, close bracket, over 2 equals, open bracket, x plus y, close bracket, over 2, close bracket, squared, close bracket, plus open bracket, y minus x, close bracket, over 2, close bracket, squared. I guess an example would be something like 1 squared plus 5 squared equals 26, over 2 equals 13. You take the average of 1 and 5, get 3. 3 squared is 9. The difference between 13 and 9, so 13 minus 9 is 4, and 4 is 2 squared. There you go. Imagining 4D space for machine learning. Perhaps this can be achieved by imagining a point in 3-dimensional space, which is actually 2 points with the exact same coordinates. Only when you shift into the 4-dimensional perspective can you see that the 2 points are actually different. I imagine a ball suspended in the air with a few other balls in the distance and some axis lines for reference. Then something happens to make you aware that you're switching to 4D, and everything seems to turn grey. So this is just me. This is what I was visualizing. I'm trying to explain what I visualized in my head, and how I was trying to get my head around 4D, and simultaneously the ball that was just 1 point split that was just one point splits in two, and those two new points move apart from one another to occupy a seemingly different point in this new dimension. You can switch back and forth between the two dimensions, grey and non-grey, well, two dimensions being 3 and 4, anyway, and the balls go back and forth, merging and diverging, always to the same coordinates. The same would be happening for all other points / balls. Of course, this highlights the fact that there can be more than one object occupying the same coordinates in 3 dimensions, and they only differ in their coordinates in the 4th and final dimension. So yeah, I'm just imagining like a room, and then you kind of like, your point of view shifts slightly to the side. You're looking at like this ball that's just suspended in the air, and your point of view shifts slightly to the side, and everything kind of turns grey just so you know that it's happening. And then this ball splits in two identical balls, and then they kind of move apart to these new points, and then your point of view goes back to where it was before, and everything goes ungrey again, and yeah, the balls merge, and you can just keep going back and forth. And I guess in my head, that's my way of trying to understand what the 4th dimension would be like, except you'd have to do it for every point. So obviously, because you're just working with the points, I'm not even sure how that works really, because our point spheres, probably not. I mean, what's a sphere like in 4D? A cube becomes a hypercube, and I imagine there's plenty of maths just making sure that their sides are still equilateral, so I guess I could probably eventually work out what a sphere would be like. Anyway, and then I just thought maybe this could be true for particles or light or something, because I think I said ages ago that light is like 4D or something like that. Maybe something like that might be able to explain it. Wave particle duality. Obviously I know literally nothing about anything to be giving any kinds of guesses, because that's all they are really, guesses. What might be going on there? I quite like the idea of there being two things, seemingly everything seems to be one, or well, a particle might just seem to be one thing, but really it's actually two particles, and they're occupying the exact same coordinates in 3-dimensional space, but only when you're in 4 dimensions. Or maybe if you smash them together and give them high enough energy. Okay, I know I'm chatting bullshit now, because I know a little bit more than nothing to know that I'm chatting shit right there. Okay, anyway, just like the idea, alright? Just thought it was a cool idea of two things occupying the same 3-dimensional space. But then it turns out actually two things when it looks like one, because we can only see them in 3D. Indeed, a 4-dimensional entity. Okay, right. This has been, I mean, wow. It really takes the hair off, doesn't it? Really takes the receding hair off. Really makes you go bald. Okay, bye.